The volatility does not end for Tesla. Today we're down 2.69%, and at worst, we're actually down about 8% today. The biggest thing that we've been watching over the past couple of weeks has been this daily BX trender. If we take our Fibonacci from swing low to swing high, we are currently sitting within the smart money zone, which is the 0.786 to the 0.826 Fibonacci level. This is very important because this is normally where institutions begin to enter to save the overall structure. You have to remember that if institutions were buying back in October and November, they were able to make a 100% return on their investment. And just by remaining patient over the past couple of months, they've been able to watch nearly a 40% sell-off. We knew that this was going to happen, not necessarily down to 272. I was really eyeing like 320 to 300 because we saw the BX trender on the weekly chart switch from making higher highs back in December to making lower highs all through December, which is why we were not bullish all through December and January. We knew the sell-off was going to happen in January, and we thought price was going to bounce somewhere within that weekly market bias, but instead price sold off a little bit more aggressively. Now, at this point, the smart money zone is being held, and we know that we're trading at a ridiculous discount. But the issue is that we have yet to get on the daily chart a higher low on the BX. We ended up getting one a couple of days ago, which is normally an indication that the bottom is in. And if we would have taken that indication, we would have lost about 2%. Not too bad for trying to time the bottom. Same deal back here on February 13th. If we would have got in on higher lows and then exited on lower highs or even lower lows, that would have been a 5 to 7% loss, which sucks, but is not the end of the world. And we know we only have a 63% win rate, but that's all that matters when you're playing with proper risk versus reward. Now today, even though price hit that low of 262, we actually bounced and made a high of $284. Massive recovery from highs to low. Now the unfortunate thing, and I posted this on X, was that price was coming up into the close at $280. And I said to everybody that if we would have held $280, that will flip the daily BX and be a very good sign for us. But most of the time, and what we've been doing for the past couple of weeks, is every time we bounce, price moves into the bearish smart money zone. We find this by going from most recent high to most recent low. And in most cases, price will reject right here and sell back off into lower lows. So how am I playing this going into the rest of this week, into next week? Well, I'm still holding my long dated calls, and I do not plan to average down into any of them until minimally the daily BX makes a higher low. I still think that over the next 6 months, we can easily see Tesla back up at $400 to $473. But the way that has to happen is this. First, the daily BX needs to make a higher low once again. That would give us an indication that price is going to bounce back up to 320 to maybe $330. From that point, we'd have to zoom back out to the weekly, because if that happens and the weekly BX is still making lower lows, then that would give us the indication that this bounce could be met with one more sell-off to fill this gap, worst case hit $227. Then at the end of March into early April, the weekly BX flips. Until this weekly BX makes a higher low, we are still trying to catch a falling knife. And you do not have to do that. If you wanted, you could wait for higher lows. But the reason that I'm going in and I'm trying to time things on the daily is because, one, I'm not trading with massive position size relative to my fund. Two, I'm getting much better risk versus rewards, and I'm okay with that because I'm sacrificing my win rate here. And three, even if this isn't the total bottom, we could still pull between a 19 and 20% move in the next couple of weeks, but not until confirmation on the daily occurs. You want the exact indicators and systems that I use to make $4.4 million in the past 2 years? Then go grab our Elite Trading Playbook. It's a step-by-step checklist that shows you exactly what I look for to get in and out of a trade. It's free, there's no fluff. And while you're there, you can also check out the other 11 free courses covering everything I've learned about trading in the past 10 years.